Hello, everyone. My name is Martina, and you can become a winner with me, Martina. Me, Martina. You know, this is what I always think. Okay, hold up. Today, we're talking about don't settle for less. But before I go on, you know what I always do? I like to add so many people to come on to the live, and then we can take it up from there. You know, the question I always ask, how are you doing? How are you guys doing? If you're doing okay, I'm glad to know. If you're not doing okay, you still have to thank God. Life will be good for you. Today I'm talking about not settling for less, and I'm going to tell you why I'm doing this topic. Okay, it involves a lot of things, but I thought, you know what, this would be the best title I can give this topic. Just hold on, let me add people. My nose is itchy. Don't settle for less. So many people settle for less, and we're talking about not settling for less. Don't settle for less. Don't give yourself away, you know, to people unnecessarily because you want to find favor with them. Don't let people label you. Anything that has to do, there are a lot of variations, but hold on, let me just add people and then we can go on. Hi to those of you that are watching. Hello. Today is going to be a bit interesting or very interesting, and if you like it, make sure you share today's video when you're done. But today we're talking about settling for less. I know that all of us who are watching or who's going to be watching later has settled for less one way or the other. Today's conversation came about when I was on a group. As you guys know or may not know, I'm more active on other people's platforms because for me, what I do on social media is to try and see how I can help people become better, you know, not just in their relationship based on my calling, but with their business and their life in general. And so many times, you know, aside clients that are on my page or friends or followers on my page, I also like to reach out to other people that don't know me, that, you know, might know me. So when I'm on other people's group, I ensure that I'm very intentional with what I'm doing so that anything that I'm writing will actually be blessing lives. So if you know me very well, whenever I'm on other platforms commenting, I write like a very long epistle. People are like, if you could have just done your own post, which one are you writing one kind of long thing? No wahala, I'll write it anyways. One person would, you know, benefit from it. Okay, so today we're talking about not settling for less. In that video, hi Amara, you're watching. Hi, how are you? Thank you, darling. What can I do now? Now God, oh. According to Bobrisky says, somebody says you're looking good, we'll just say now God, oh. Okay, Amara, today I'm talking about not settling, you know, for less. Now, this particular conversation came about, you know, when I was on a group today, and a lady was saying, a lot of women, people call us different names. People label us, like they say you're a prostitute, you're a bitch, you're an ashawo, you're this, you know. And that lady in that post, she wrote like a very long list of things, and she says, yes, if you call me a prostitute or ashawo, no problems, I accept it, is now my name. And I'm like, hey babe, no, that's a very wrong teaching. A lot of people, you know, we have gotten used to accepting things we have no business accepting. And my conversation today is don't settle for less. Don't settle for labeling. Don't settle for toxicity. Don't settle for anybody bringing you down. Don't settle for negative conversation. Anything that is less of what you want and what will bring you happiness, don't settle for it. Don't say, oh, I'm not going to do this because of my relationship, I'm going to do this. No, don't do any of those things, because the truth of the matter is none of those things are worth it in the end, unless you are doing anything that you are doing that has to do with God. But if it's not God, if you are trying to settle because of a human being, my darling, you're going to be disappointed. And if you must do it, ensure that you're doing it without any you're not settling because when you finish, this person will love me, or let me just do this so this person will love. I've seen so many single mothers, because they want to be with a man, you know, they will not kick away their children because of one man. If that man does not love you and you're plenty battalion, man, my dear, that man is not worth it. So many people have left their businesses because of a relationship. So many people have, like, that's what I'm talking about. Don't let anybody label you. Anybody calling you prostitute, ashawo, it's not okay for someone to call you that. Don't get used to, oh yeah, we are used to it. No, it's not okay. That is very damaging to the mental health for anybody. My ex-spouse used to call me ashawo like every other day. I got tired of hearing that word. And in my mind, what was going on is, let me just do this thing so that he can rest. That's what will be coming to the person's mind. It doesn't help anybody when anybody puts you in the negative, and it affects your brain. So if you're that kind of person that is used to calling people names, understand that it affects them. You might just be saying it because you are angry. All of us, so we have what we can be saying when we are angry, but nobody is saying that. So women, not just women, men, whoever, don't settle for anything that is not you. Men, a lot of women say, look at you. You don't have any money, lazy man. Those things, as negative as they are, if you allow, that's what you're going to attract. That's what I know. That's what I now know from experience. If you allow it, and after I'm not a lazy person, she can say what she wants to say. My darling, if you don't take care, she keeps saying it every day when you people are fighting. Before you know it, the spirit called laziness will come into your life, unknowing to you. Don't take this for granted. Don't trivialize these things. That's what I'm saying. Do not settle. Do not settle. Do not settle for less, because most people that settle, eventually they end up regretting those settlements. I'm going to share a very personal story. Heaven bears me witness for this story. Yeah, I remember the first job that I got outside of Nigeria when I traveled to Asia. My first job ever. This job was a very good job. Like, when I tell you, I would have been by now I would have been rolling with presidents. Maybe I don't even just know what would have happened. I don't want to even think what would have happened. Anyways, I got the job. It was for a company. I don't want to mention the company because of the GDPR law, but I'm just going to explain the story. But this company, what they do is they do events for big government officials, like the governments in Asia. They're the ones that handle all of their events. By the time they hired me, was the period when the Prime Minister of London, of the United Kingdom, Tony Blair, was coming to Asia. He was coming for an Asian tour. I'm going to skip the year. I'm going to skip all of those details because I don't know if I have that permission to, put out all those laundries. But I want to talk about my story first. I'm not talking about it from the event part. I'm talking about it from my own story. Anyway, they just hired me, I was feeling energetic, coming up with ideas, pumping. If you know me, I'm an ideas mistress. So, I went for interview. At the interview, I've already told them all the things they're going to do for the event, the lightnings. And you guys, most of you that don't know, my background is not, I didn't start off as a business person. My main background is in theater. So I did performing arts up to my master level. I did performing arts, directing and cinematography. That's what I really wanted to do before. So understand, when it comes to lighting, acting, all of those things, this is my domain. This is my forte. These are things that come to me naturally. I only dabbled into business because, you know what, everybody in my country used to say, you're acting, theater arts, performing arts, you people are not serious. So people, they used to take my profession very seriously. I'm like, you know what, let me go and do certification in business. So let me just jump to business. This is how I now jumped into business. So all that love for lighting, camera, and all of those kind of things, talking in public, these things come natural to me. So imagine when I went for that interview, how I killed it. I killed the interview. The woman was like, you know what, I love you. I'm hiring you immediately. For me, I had just gotten married. I was young. I just gave birth. In fact, I had just given birth. Like maybe 7 months after I had given birth. But I'm someone that I don't like to sit idle. I went home, all excited, very happy. I said, guess what? Do you know who I'm going to be working for? Hi, Dayemi, how are you doing? My very good friend. Dayemi, you used to hide and look at my team. You don't used to say anything. Say hello on the platform. Let me hear you today. Where have you been? Right on. Thank Thank you, darling. How are you doing? I miss talking to you. I'm going to chat with you later. So I went home, all excited. I'm going to tell my spouse, you know, my partner. I said, guess what? Hey, your baby is now the one going for events for presidents and all those kind of things. So I dropped all the gems, like, you know what? We're having this president of Japan is coming, the prime minister of Japan, a prime minister of the UK is coming. Look at all the events we had, you know. I'm in charge of this, I'm in charge of that. Hey, I did not know that I was just putting myself. If I had known, I was shooting myself in the foot. My ex-partner was like, why you just gave birth? Why are you going to take on that kind of job? So you mean you'll be going and be seeing presidents? This one, what kind of job is that? You that just gave birth. I don't like that job. I was like, you don't like which kind of job don't you like? The job was going to pay high, you know. Are you lacking anything? Do you have any problem? You don't have anything. I'm like, wait, please, I beg, don't come and use your radio and spoil my booze. Thinking that this was just like, you know what, initial gra. Only for me to go to work the next day. I got to work. Immediately I got to work. I'd already started the work, not the next day, maybe 3 weeks later. 3 weeks later, I remember, because we had already gone to we had gone to Chinatown. We had done a few of the things that are needed for the job, you know, like to get on the event. I'd contacted a few companies that were going to do some lighting and all those kind of things. Anyways, one day, I don't know if it's 3 weeks or 1 month, but I wrote it in my diary. One day, I just came to work. When I came to work very early, and you know, I don't know, for those of you who have lived in Asia, Asian bosses, if work is 7 o'clock, they're going to be there by 6 o'clock. So they're not bosses that, you know what, because they're the owner of the company, they will come by 10. No, if work starts at 7, be rest assured that 7 you have to be at the office, because your boss is going to be at work at 6. Anyway, I got to work. When I got to work, you know, the lady said, you know what, they should call me. In my mind, I'm like, me that I've just started work, what is she calling me for? And this lady, she's so strict, you know, because that office is our kind of job, or the company is a company that deals with high class people. For instance, number one, our rule in our company, you have to be made up. You cannot come to the work barefaced. You have to put maquillage on your face. You have to dress well. Your nails has to be polished, fixed at all times. You cannot wear anything but high heel. Imagine that kind of job. That's the kind of job I had. So me, normally now, when I come to work, I don't drive with my shoes. I drive without my shoes, yeah. So I always have a slip-on inside the car. So I wore that slip-on and I came up to the office, you know, hoping to change to my koinkoi shoe. Koinkoi shoe, for those of you that are not African, koinkoi just simply means high heels. So I was going to change to my koinkoi shoe. So I felt like she was calling me because she had seen me come into the office with my slip-on, yeah. I said, God, though, which kind high class office is this one? Just to wear slippers and enter inside the office. That's what they're calling me for. And this lady, she's very prim and proper. She doesn't take nonsense, you know. So I'm like, God, okay, let me quickly wear my koiko shoe. And she gave us the inches. Your inch has to be high. You must be high class at all time. That's how I wore my koiko. Went to her office. I got there. I sat down. The lady looked at me. I'm going to paraphrase. I'm not going to say exactly what she told me because it's long. Bottom line, my partner had written to the company that they should sack me, like they should take me off my work. Can you guys imagine? So he wrote to them and said that, bottom line, he wants me not to work in that company because as Africans, my light has gone off. He said, as Africans, when you just give birth to a baby, you are supposed to stay at home with the baby. So he doesn't understand why I'm working and what I need the work for, because he can take care of me. This is how he puts that letter. I have a copy of that letter. So now in the future, I can always present it. So I'm not lying, you know. So he wrote that letter, and the lady said to me, and she's not African, she's Asian. And she said to me, look, I don't understand your African, you know, tradition or whatever, but any stupid African tradition that asks you to lose all of this just because you gave birth to a baby. Remember, this baby is over 6 months. My mom was around in the country. Oh, okay, no, the baby is even over 1 year because my mommy had just gone back to Nigeria and my mom stayed for like a year. So it's not like this baby is missing out on any love or affection or anything. I also had a maid, you know. So she told me, she said, look, my dear, number one thing I'm going to tell you, I am not going to sack you. I'm not going to ask you to leave this job because you are good on this job. Two, anytime you settle for less, you are going to end up regretting it. And so I'm going to leave you, sit in my office right now and make the decision whether you want to leave this job so that you settle for not being happy, because everybody in that 3 weeks that I was at work, I was already infectious. Anybody who knows me, I'm a closer. I close deals quickly. So people were already, Martina, I'm in your team. You know, all my team members are already loving me up, you know, like killer girl, closing deals. We have already closed down the event people that will do light, the people that will do this, all the cup of tea, because the team for that particular event, when the London guy was coming, the Prime Minister, was London Bridge is falling down. So the idea of the party or the event was to have everything Londonish, you know, like a cup of tea, all the China vase that they were going to use. I had gone to go and secure that deal for us, you know. So she just told me, she said, look, number one, do not settle. If you decide to settle, you're going to regret it in the end. Always be yourself. Any relationship, marriage, friendship, any ship that will not permit you to be yourself, it's not really worth it. Even with the ship with God, even if you want to have a relationship with God, it's a give and take. That is why God is always doing his own part, regardless of whether we do our part or not. That's what relationship is all about. Relationship, love is about giving, not taking or deterring. When she said that, I said, please, can you give me a minute? Let me just go and use the washroom and come back, because tension. You know, when this is like my dream job. And remember, guys, if you don't know anything, as at the time, as far back as at that time, it is so rare for you to see an African working. This is the premises I need you to understand. It's not like I'm in the UK. I'm not even in America or in Canada where you say, okay, it's not a big deal. What was the big deal? I'm in a country called Malaysia where they think every African is a scam artist. They don't believe that an African can be working, not to talk of working for high-class government event company, where if the that too wants to do wedding, it is that company that does it. If the Prime Minister of Japan or whatever, or the president of whatever is doing, it is that company that does it. Can you imagine working in that kind of place, the opportunities and everything? The lady said, I'm not seeing anywhere in the world where you're going to lose this opportunity for that kind of thing. Even your child, even if your child was a 1-day-old baby. Now, so me, I carry myself, I went to the toilet. Butterflies, I wanted to poo-poo by force. You know, God, you know when you're tensioned, like, I don't know what to do. I say, God, which kind of, hey, God, oh, how can one person just use his own reggae and spoil my blues? I went to the toilet. I called my mom. First person I called was my mom. I said, Mommy, look at what my partner said, oh. He said I should not. African parents, some of them, I don't think they will go to hell. If you are a parent, be hearing me now, you must do better. This is why I told myself, I must be better than my parents. I called my mom, I said, Mommy, please, oh, how am I going to do? Look, oh, he said I should leave this job. He wrote a letter to the company and said they should sack me and everything. Guess what my mother said to me? My mother said, if your husband said that you should not work now, don't work now. After all, he's providing for you. I said, Mommy, what do you mean? When he met me, I was working in the bank, Zenith big girl. Yes, even though I was an obote. Obote is like a fresher, like a graduate trainee, right? That's what I was. And they just promoted me before I even left. Yeah, that reminds me. They have just promoted me. Those of you that are in my branch, you know. They have just promoted me. So I don't understand how I left bank and now come. I'm supposed to be upgrading. Now I'm downgrading. You understand where I'm coming from? My mother said, Shebi, he takes care of you. I said, Mommy, it's not about taking care of me. It's about doing the things that I love. This is why I went to school for 4 years. This is why I went to do my master's. This is why I came out with a first class in my master's. In my undergraduate, I was not serious. I came out with 2-2. But after that time, I started understanding the importance of coming out with excellence. And I told myself, I will only do things with excellence. Instead, I will not do. So I've come out with the first class, and now you are telling me I should come and sit down at home and be doing what? My mother said, well, if he says so, you have to do it. I said, what? Guys, you will not believe it. That is how my career ended. I went back to the office. I said, please, Ma, I'm sorry, I have to follow our culture. This woman shook her head. She said, you are stupid. You're dumb stupid. Get out of my office. She was irritated. Today, I sit down and I repeat to myself, you're dumb stupid. Get out of here. Why am I giving this example? Why did I use this example? A lot of people, okay, have done dumb, stupid things in way of settling for less because they want to prove a point. You don't have to go that route to prove anything. If somebody loves you, they won't even make you go that route. If anybody really loves you, they ought to support you to be your best version of yourself. And that's what God does for us constantly, helping us to do. God is patient, waiting for you. This is the most important reason why God gave us choices. And people don't understand it. So people settle because they want to prove a point to their partner. They want to, I'm doing this thing because of the lady who says it's okay for people to call you prostitute and bitch. It's not okay, darling. It's not okay. It's not okay to be in a toxic situation. It's not okay for people to label you. It's not okay for people to call you names. It's not okay. My light has gone off. It's not okay, guys. Don't. And you know the funny thing, because we are on social media, people are preaching these things to become norms. They're not preaching it as if you don't want it to be okay, you are now the odd one. Then they that have started accepting Ashawo or bitch as their name, they are the good ones. It's not okay. It's not okay for people to label you. You guys have heard me severally, you know, where I share of how a teacher told my daughter in school. Normally, when I was living in my former area, the kids, they used to go to school on every Saturday. I don't know why they used to go to school on Saturday. In France, we go to school 4 times in a week. But that area, they decided that on Saturday, since we don't go on Wednesday, they want to take half of your time on Saturday. And me, that Saturday is when I cook all the soup and stew. That's when I actually do my work and everything. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to be taking them to school on Saturday every day. I don't know what they are teaching them, but that Saturday will not kill them. My daughter went to school. When she got to school, the teacher, she didn't come like 3 times consecutively. And the teacher said, why didn't you come to school? She said, I don't know. I don't know. My mom said she's not feeling well. And the teacher just said, why are you a liar? My daughter came back home and told me. I did not find it funny. I went to the school. I said, how dare you call my daughter a liar? If my daughter doesn't come to school, I should be the liar, not my daughter. Because I'm the one responsible for her. How dare you? Because guess what happens? You call that child a liar, right? For you, it's nothing. You're angry or whatever. Tomorrow, that child is playing with her peers on the playground. And they'll say, oh, you're a liar, 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 liar. After all, teacher said you're a liar. That's what children do. Unknowing to you, that becomes bullying. Unknowing to you, that child starts feeling less of herself because everybody is now seeing her as a liar. This is why you cannot be okay with certain things. You cannot be okay with negativity. There are some people that they'll say God will punish you. They'll say they are joking. You call somebody a prostitute the first time. Okay, you are angry. I understand. But every other day, my darling, you are deliberately wanting to hurt me and it's not acceptable. And this is what I don't want anybody accepting. Somebody deliberately slap you the first time. Okay, I slap you. Okay, it's understandable the first one. But every other day he's beating you and everything. You don't need to be in that space. You don't need that. You don't need to settle for that. Your children should not make you to be receiving slapping every day. And you know the funny thing? Most people, they quote the Bible. They say, the Bible says, when somebody slap you once, let them slap you in the other cheeks. That's not what it means, so. That is not what that passage. I've already explained to you guys severally. When you're reading the Bible, how you need to look at the Bible in the context of what you're reading. When they say slap, when Jesus said slap, turn the other cheeks, it doesn't mean literally that if your husband slaps you today, tomorrow you should be there. Don't leave him because it's a toxic situation. You should leave. It is that slapping that he's slapping you that should make you leave that relationship. It is that prostitute that he's calling you that should make you leave that relationship. Because if you don't leave, guess what will happen? For those of you that are men, or even men that your women insult you like consistently in the negative, yeah? What will happen is you keep calling your wife Ashawo, 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 Ashawo. One day, one man on social media will just see her and say, oh, you are so beautiful. I love you. I cherish you. And she'll just say, you know what? This one is calling me Ashawo. This one is praising me. Unknowing to you, she'll start giving that one time. She starts feeling comfortable because everybody loves to be appreciated. Even God himself, yeah? When you praise God, don't you see that he causes his hand to work on your favor? When you tell God you are awesome, you're good, everybody loves praises. There are other things you can say that you are not being derogatory to people. And so, don't settle to be in that situation where somebody is constantly bringing you down and you are settling. Ibrahim says there is power in the tongue. You are what you call yourself. Exactly what I'm talking about. And people trivialize these things. People, so many people, yeah, they have attracted so many things they have no business attracting because they took things for granted. They settled for those things. Somebody said, look at you, you're a failure. Look at you, see how you are. You can never amount to anything. People will do those things and you just say, you're not talking to me. My dear, they are talking to you. They are talking to you. Because the moment they say it, they call forth that spirit. You call the spirit of ashawo and prostitute and bitch 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. By the 4th time, they answer you. They will come to your home. Who is these people calling me up and down? This family calling me. You have given that negativity the legal access into coming into your home, unknowing to you. That's why you cannot take anything for granted. Those of you that will leave your job. Yesterday, I was reading a story. An American lady, she had like a company, she had created. Hey, Kenoma, my school father is watching. Hey. Kenoma, how are you doing? Shebi, you don't want to, I'm looking at you, I'm beefing you. I didn't want to tell you on LinkedIn, I'm beefing you. Okay? I dey beef you, big time beef. You want me to come and beg you for your number? I will not collect your number. I don't want your number. I will beef you. Until you give me your number, until I speak to you on the phone, I will keep beefing you. Let me just tell you on my live video. Let me just disgrace you. How are you doing? Thanks for watching. Prince, you're watching. Thank you. Tony, you're watching. Everybody who is watching. Stell, my darling, thank you for watching. So, as I'm saying, yeah, you are trivializing those issues and you're giving the devil the legal access to come into your home with those negativity. When people are speaking, I was explaining the story of this lady. The lady had created a company. She had about 13 staff or up to 14 staff. I can't really remember the number of staff. In her home, she was having issues. She asked her husband he says, I'm proud of you. Oh my God. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Please, now let's talk now. Call me. Let me gist with you. I've missed you so much. On LinkedIn, you are forming professional for me. That's why me self. I know if you carry last now. You want to do professional for your picking. Me self, I follow you, they do professional. But on this platform, I don't do for give me your number, let me call you. Yeah, I blow you the kisses too. So, anyways, the lady said her husband should take care of the son. The husband said he can't take care of the son. Take care of the son. He said he cannot. Guess what the lady did? She closed the company down. That's a stupid thing to do. You can't be making, if you are a man, you can't be making those kind of choices because of your ego. You will say, I don't want my wife to work. Now, I'm thinking about it. Now that I'm now divorced, yeah, after the 13 years. I'm now thinking, how far would I have gone in 13 years? I don't know. Everything works together for good and I'm not bitter. But just imagine how far I would have gone. And that's not the only time, oh. There are so many times. But imagine, yeah, whatever reason he had, let's say for instance he says, I don't want you to go because men will be toasting me. You think they cannot toast me in my house? Men can toast me even in my house. In fact, you can be in the living room, another man will be toasting me in the kitchen. It is doable. It now means that you have to come to terms where you give yourself 100% trust with your partner or whatever. And this is not just in relationship, even in business. I said whatever ship, you have to trust the other party. So many people, you see me, I'm not talking about relationships so that people don't think I'm talking about my relationship. I'm saying any ship. Even with God, some people, they go to God, they're asking God for something, and God says, ask me, I will give you. He has said, ask me, I will give you. Have restful confidence. This is the choice word I use. Restful confidence. You have to have restful confidence in any relationship we are doing with anybody. If it is not a restful confidence, it's not worth it. If it is not a restful trust, it's not worth it. That's my message for you. And if you have restful confidence in somebody, they are not going to be derogatory of you. So don't settle. That's my point. When somebody starts making you overly feel less of yourself, do not settle. It's not worth it. Let's use God, the originator of relationships, as an example. Every day we commit sin. There is nobody that is perfect. Even the Pope commits sin one way or the other, either in his words, thoughts, deeds, or action. Yeah? But guess what? We're not righteous because of our deeds. Because if it's only for our deeds, we're all sinners on a daily basis. Restful confidence is knowing that you will go to God and you tell God to forgive you and he forgives you instanta. There is no one day, even when the devil, the accuser, is coming and saying, you want to bless this one that is like this and like this. God is always using that loving words on you. Don't worry, this is my child. Always waiting on you. That's how it has to be in all relationship. Guess what? If you bring that to the table, you only attract that. The thing that makes a lot of relationships not work, whether in business, in everything, is one person is coming to that table with an "I am smarter than you" sense, or one person is coming with "I don't trust you" sense. Any which ways, whatever you come to the table with is what you attract. And it is important that in ships, whether relationship, friendship, marriageship, businessship, that you agree. The two of you must agree. Two of you must agree in that ship. Whether it's just for fun, you must both agree for it to work. If you don't agree, it will not work. And if you agree, you will not be able to come up with a negative, because you don't want someone to call you negative things. So for those of you that are men, you call your wife a shower prostitute. How would you like it if the woman calls you some other names? There are many things a man says to women, and they don't know they are bringing those women down. And these are women that are powerhouse. Every woman is a powerhouse. This is how God has created us. There is no dull woman. There is no olodo woman. There is no, even that market woman that didn't go to school, come and count money in her presence, and you will see her activate her mathematical skills. She might not know the Oyibo kind of way to call it, but she knows it. Any which way, she knows it. And this is what we must understand. So don't settle for less. Don't let people call you what you are not. Don't allow people demean you. Don't allow people trivialize your situation. Don't allow people dishonor you just because. And you accepting it just because you want to be in their space. So this is what I put in that group. I told them, I say, see how I have grown, okay, to the way I am right now. Anybody who is going to be in my space, I teach you how to treat me. That's how it is. It's either my way or the highway. If you don't want it my way, bye. Bye, Felicia. And my way is, I cannot tolerate negativity. I was talking to a friend of mine. A friend of mine, we were talking, and I said, I had told him something I wanted to do. And he said, you know what? You know that thing will not work. I stopped talking to that friend. Period. And it's like, just because of that? I say, yes, just because of that. That's why. Just nothing more. It says, I can't believe you. I said, well, believe you. Guess what? I'm talking to that friend now, but I'm definite he will never try that nonsense again, where you come up with negativity. Because I've heard so many negative things that if I think of how I should have grown, and people will say it doesn't matter. It does matter. It affects your mental health. It affects your productivity. Unknown to you, you might think you're productive, but you're not being productive in comparison to how you ought to have been. It's not okay. If you're going to, for those of you that call your wife fat, short, this one, all those things, they are negative labelings, and don't accept it. Don't accept it. There are other things you can say, and if you're not going to magnify my positivity, you choose to now magnify the negative one, you can't be in my space. It's no longer allowed for me, or at least for me. That's why I'm teaching one person. Not everybody will accept it, but one person that, because negativity does a lot of things on people, and people don't know. There are some people that, you know, just because of negative words, they've not advanced to the next level. Some people, they know what they need to do, but because their spouse have constantly, look at you. Is it not just Facebook? Is it not just social media management that you're doing? Who will come there? Who will come there? Who will come there? Before you know it, you're telling yourself, was there? At least nobody even used to patronize me. You start to believe that report. You start to attract that report. And I'm saying, don't allow it anymore. Don't settle for less. Don't, anything that you don't feel like doing. And this is different from sacrificing. There's a huge difference from settling and sacrificing. Sacrificing is not the same as settling. Asking me to leave a high-paying job that is good, that I love, because you don't. It's not like you have anything you're bringing to the table. A company wants to pay me $13,000 per month. And you're telling me not to take that job because Abu Dhabi men will sleep with me. Seriously? Are there no Arab men in France that can sleep with me? They don't even need to be in, from the phone set, they can be having phone sex with me. If I give them that, if I position myself. So whatever your fears is, that's on you. I'm not permitted to take on your fears. I'm not responsible for your thoughts. Don't be responsible for people's thoughts. If you're not bringing trust to the A game, then you're not worth being in my space. At least for me, that's my moving ahead mantra. And it should be for one of you who's listening to me. Me too, when I'm going to God, I want to try as much as possible to bring my A game, because God is constantly bringing his A game. I know I'm not a perfect person, but every day I'm going to him, I want to at least make sure I'm intentional. Understanding that he has a lot of integrity. His integrity cannot be, overlooked. He's going to stick to whatever he says. If he tells you, I've got you, I've got you. You don't need to be thinking twice. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and I was telling him, I need money. He says, look, you that I'm seeing you already have money. You already have money. I'm seeing you already have money. And I'm thinking, I'm like, yeah, that's true. God has told me he has my back. So what is my problem? God will orchestrate it. And it is that confidence that make people that you rely on not disappoint you. And even if they disappoint you, they repent of it quickly. This is what it means to fear God. So when women ask me, what do you always mean by fear God? And I'm telling them that fear God and God fearing is not the same thing. This is what I mean. If you trust God, if you fear God, even when you do something that God does not like, you quickly repent of it. You know that this thing you're doing is not right. It will be disturbing you. You quickly repent of it. It's when you don't fear God that you'll be doing something you not even feel like you're doing. You know that some people, they are so used to doing bad things that bad things have become normal. Even when you are telling them this thing you're doing is not normal, they can't even see the bad in what they're doing. Don't settle for less for anything, even in your workplace. Even in your workplace, if you're not okay about something, some people, they work in companies that they don't know that you can even ask for more. You can even ask for an upgrade. You can even ask to be changed. There are some people, they are sitting on a job position for a very long time. They don't like that thing they are doing. What stops you from going to HR and tell HR, please, can you change me? Like me, when they wanted to hire me with Nissan, when I was working with Nissan, the first day in my interview, they asked us, what is the bad thing about you? You must have one bad thing. I don't know who asked those kind of question in the interview. I was thinking, I said, see, one thing about me, I cannot do something repeatedly. I like to have a variety. I like change. So therefore, on this job, don't put me in one position, though. When you put me to be answering call, the next day, put me in telematics, the next day. Because if you leave me in that answering call and I master it, and it will not even take me 2 weeks to master it, because I'm quick like that. Once I know it, and I start getting tired. If you don't refresh it with something new, I don't tire be that, oh. And I told them there, every time when there is a training, they'll put me in the training. My sister come for training. Is a disadvantage, sometimes, because I want to go home. They're not saying we should have training. Or I want to go for my lunch with my colleague. They're not asking us to stay by for training. But for me, I prefer it that way. I stay for the training, learn what I have to learn, and boom, I'm zoomed off. Yeah? So you can actually get what you want. There is no one way. Nobody says that if they hire you for digital marketer, you have to be in that company as a digital marketer till you die. No, you can upgrade yourself. You can see that this digital marketing, you have known everything about it. Hey, let me do content writing now. Hey, let me do SEO. Write to the company. Guys, if you don't learn anything from what I'm teaching you, always write your letter of intent for anything you want to anybody, even if it's with God. There are times that I write in my book. I have a book, That book is my book to God. I used to write letters to God. I don't know how. All I know is it might be like some people might say you're just deceiving yourself. It's not being realistic. Well, that's on you. But that principle can be applied to anything. Even if you wanted to go and get a visa, yeah, people don't know that you should write your letter of intent. That is even more powerful than having millions in your account. Do you know that you might not have all the millions in your account and you write a letter of intent? So you've never traveled before, yeah, and you want to go and look for a visa. You can write to them that, look, I have never traveled before. My country is tiring. I really desire to go to Canada. I really desire to come to France. I believe that I will come here, I will learn things, and I will be of value to this company. And this is why I want to travel. You are better off doing that than trying to take people's 20 million, put in your account to show that you can afford, trying to book a far hotel. You are better off doing that. Anytime you write your letter of intent, it is more powerful than anything. On the job, you don't like your job position, you want a raise, you want anything, write a letter of intent. Write a letter to whoever is in charge. Hey, I'm writing this letter. I'm just putting it as a letter of intent. I would like to have an upgrade. I feel like put all your points. Just because all your colleagues are getting the same salary does not mean. I learned that one when I was working with all these Oyibo people. In Asia, all of us, we are buying managers, but we don't all have the same salary. The day they even heard my salary, some people heard my salary, they're like, aha! How come you are because they give the salary based on local staff and then international staff. Now, I'm considered a local staff because I had lived in Asia for a while, but I was collecting international staff money then. Why? Because I negotiated for it. It's possible. It's doable. And we're having lunch one time. I just mistakenly told somebody in my team, oh, this video is going to go off. And I told her, she said, what? They're paying you like almost 2 times of my money. I said, yes. So, you know, so what am I saying? Don't settle for less in anything. Darling, what do you want? Come and stay with me. But you are naked. Come and tie it all. Tie it all. Come and stay here and sleep back. Let me carry you so you can sleep back. So guys, as I'm saying, don't settle for less. Don't settle for anything that is not you. If it's not something that you want, don't settle for it. I don't buy the idea of people saying they're getting used to negativity. And that's not me. So it doesn't matter. If you like, call me prostitute. If you like, call me a bitch. When did women start calling each other bitches? They'll say, hey, bitch. And it's like something that is supposed to be a slang. Anybody that tries that, I will slap you or take you off my platform. It's not allowed. It's not allowed. Even with our children, some parents, they are culprit to this. They say negative things to their children. Look at you. It's not even swearing with your children. There are many people that will swear with their children, like our superstar that was swearing with her child. You have no business, Jay. You can't be doing life and I'm here. How are you doing, darling? My personal person. You know, you can't be swearing with your children. All those things that you do. What are you swearing? The person you are swearing with your children for, is that person worth it? Is that person worth the 9 months of stress that you went through? The person is not worth it. So these are some of the things that we do that we settle for. Why are you swearing with your child? I swear, if I didn't do this, let my child die. My child will not die for anything, no. Swear with the person you are doing if you must swear. Or swear to yourself or to the person. I swear to you, but not I swear on my child. My child, I didn't do anything. I know how the devil is. The devil is so cunning that for some reason your child will just be sick at that period. That person will say, yes, you see, this is what happened. She swore with her child and it happened. So many times it happens that way. So many times it happens that way. So these are settling behaviors that we do and we don't know that we are doing them. Don't settle in your words, in your thoughts, in your deeds, in your actions. Do not settle for less. That is my point to you today. On all levels, anything you're not comfortable with, don't accept it. You have a right not to accept it. People will learn. I have explained to you about a friend of mine, Simi in Nigeria. Not Simi superstar Ayofe. Simi in Nigeria. Simi introduced me to an educationist, Dr. Bam. Dr. Bam, when it's 4 o'clock, he has gone home. You cannot call that man. You cannot call him. You cannot be 1 minute late with him. I don't know how he brainwashed everybody that everybody now knows that about him. That's a person who doesn't settle for less. And he has showed you how he wants to be treated. I said we're running late. Simi was calling me. Simi, please, any day you watch the video, testify. Simi said, princess, please, oh, hurry up, oh. And I went to PF, petroleum equalization. I was coming, it's for those of you that are in Abuja, you see how the distance is. And I was going to Gwarimpa. If you see how she was hurrying me, come on, princess. Dr. Bam, I don't want him to do. I said, but we are almost 30 minutes early. Yeah, so he used to be 30 minutes. So guess what? For something that was 1 o'clock, I had to be there by 12:30. And those of you that know I'm late, come on. I was not there by 12:30. And guess what? The guy even came before us. There are people that already have that as a standard where they won't settle for less. You will come and meet them the way that they are. Let's be those people. Let's try to be those people. Looking at how many things that I settled for, they were not worth it. All the things I settled for, they were not worth it. They weren't even appreciated. They were not even appreciated. So that's even the worst thing. And now, this is one case out of a lot. But a majority of the times, the people we settle for don't even appreciate it. They think it's their right. They are entitled to it, but they are not entitled to what you settle for. How can you lose your company? It's a whole lot of stuff. When I read that story of that woman, it reminded me of my own story as well. The woman who relinquished her company because of her spouse, just because he couldn't take care of a baby. There are different women, single mothers, they'll have a relationship with a man. The man will say, I don't like your children. They'll not start going and keeping their children with their mother. If you have a child, what business does your child have with living with another person? Say, what's happen? For what? If you're going to drink Gary with your friend. If you're going to drink water Man does not live by bread alone. You will not die. You have no business leaving your children with other people in the name of, if my children are with me, the man will not see me. Anybody, my new future husband, I have 4 children. If you are not okay with my 4 children, I beg bounce, I don't want you. Please, I won't settle. You will love me and my children. The only thing is I will not put the burden of my children on you because they have their father that is taking care of them. That's it. But say I'll now leave my children. Maybe I'm on a phone call with the guy and my daughter is crying. I'll leave my daughter that is crying. I'll leave the food I'm supposed to cook for my children and I'm talking. Yeah, see me, you're online. See me, I just talked about Dr. Bam now. I'm telling how some people, they show you how to treat them. And I was giving the example of Dr. Bam when you introduced me, how we were running late, how you're always stressing me about him. And I'm telling them that Dr. Bam is one person that 4 o'clock, I'll be 5 o'clock, he don't enter house. You can't call him. He already created that standard for himself and people love him the way he is, like that. So most of us, we settle for less because we are looking for acceptance. We want people to love us. We want the loved ones to love us more than the love that they say they have. My darling, if somebody loves you, you don't need to do so much. You don't need to stress yourself. If that thing is yours, you don't need to stress. And those people that you do all those things for, when they leave you for other people, you will see how you too, you were all those things you were doing were not needed. Because they will be with people that will be less than who you are. And that's why you'll be saying, I gave him my everything. I even left the job, but who asked you to leave it? You had a choice. People forget these things that God gave us a choice. You actually had a choice. That's different from sacrificing. Sacrificing is you by yourself, for yourself, deciding that you don't want to do that thing. Not somebody else deciding for you. That's the difference. Settling is when another person makes you to do that thing. Hey, thank you, Holy Spirit. Sacrificing is you by yourself. So, for instance, I by myself now, when I got the job in Abu Dhabi, and I looked at it that, hey God, if I go to Abu Dhabi now, my spouse will be alone, and I will not be there with him. How will he be eating? How will he be coping? Because of 13,000. Let me just leave it and just stay with him, Jare. Let me just stay with him. That's me sacrificing that job for that guy. Of my own free will. But when you come and tell me not to take on the job and your excuse is not even top notch, that is me settling. You want me to settle, and a lot of people settle. This is not a woman crime, it's both a woman and man. There are men that settle. There are some men that will not feed their mother because they have girlfriend, they'll be bad. There was my ex had a cousin. That cousin, he sponsored a girl to school, bought her shoes, everything. Even the business that they gave him money to do, he didn't do the business. Where did that girl? She married somebody from her country and forgot him. I'm telling you, I am telling you, this is what settling will do. When you settle, because settling makes you have a lot of expectations. And as human beings, we are going to dash people's expectations down. People are going to play on your expectations. Most of the time, the things you are expecting will not be how it's supposed to be. This is why relationships, any type of relationships, go down. Expected expectations. Whether it's with God, a lot of people, they will come to God today. God, you say you love me, so I'm not supposed to die. It's a lie. That's not what gives you long life. Just because God loves you. No, God already gave us the right. God, how come if you're a loving God, why am I broke? My dear, go and do the principles of getting money. You will not be broke. God, if you know you love me, why did I have an accident? Darling, you had an accident because the Holy Spirit must have warned you, but you said no, you must go for that party. No, you must go for that Ashobi. No, nothing they happen. I'm just around the corner. My darling, expected expectations is what brings a lot of relationship down. And settling is a byproduct of that thing. When you settle, you now feel, you know what? I'm giving my life for my spouse, so therefore he cannot hurt me. I've been with him for 13 years, so nothing will happen. Yes, I'll just be doing. After all, he loves me. Then, when he now does otherwise, you now want to kill yourself. This is why people kill themselves. This is why people start to swear for the people. They're now not happy. They feel like the person has done. No, the signs are there. The signs are there, but we don't look at these signs. Me, that first time that he already did that thing, that could have been the best time to leave that man. To know that this man, he doesn't really love me. Even though he's saying it, he doesn't know what he's saying. Because that would have been the right cue. But no, you want to deceive yourself. Then you have 1 children, 2, 3, 3, 4. When you have 4, the person is not telling you, you did something in 1 year, you did that thing, and that person still leaves you. How are you going to keep for yourself for that person? It's now God that gives you the wisdom and strength to go. But a lot of people don't go past that level because they've been having a lot of expectations that when it dashes, they can't contain themselves. And unknown to them, when they don't heal from that expectation, they keep transferring it from one person to another to another. This is what settling can cause you. Settling is damaging. When you settle for less, it doesn't just affect you in the immediate, it affects you in the long run because it affects a lot of your decisions that you make. You now feel less of yourself. How can you be a woman, you are walking on the street, somebody will call you a shower and you tell me it's acceptable? How is that acceptable? Somebody is calling you big belly every day when you have 4 children. And you are telling me, it's not a problem. That one self is even not a problem because if you really have a big belly, then it's not a problem. But if somebody is calling you what you are not, it's actually a very big problem. It's labeling. But even at that, someone is calling, if you're calling me big belly, meanwhile, the 4 children said the belly is not so big. There are some people that have not born one child and they have big belly. But those things now start to enter into your mind. Okay, guys, have you noticed that in almost all my videos, I talk about big belly? That is the byproduct of settling. Negativity, abuse, you become a part of it that you don't know. It becomes a vocabulary with you. I don't know why I say, all my friends always call me after my video, they'll say, but why do you always say you have big belly? You don't really have big belly. And I tell them it's because I've heard it too many times, so it became a part of me. I actually don't really have a big belly. So, like for a mother who has 4 children, I really don't have a big belly. I only just say it because I've gotten used to hearing it. So it's more of like a defense is attack. That's what that lady was suggesting in that thing. If they call you a shower, that's not a problem. Accept it as far as that. No, don't do it. It's damaging. I shouldn't be having a conversation that is serious every time I'm presenting big belly. And this is me calling out myself. It's not acceptable to be telling people that I have big belly. I don't have big belly. But because I've heard it so many times, I've been abused with it so many times, it has become like, okay, I'll start saying it so that it will not be paining me. It's a lie. It might not be paining you, but it's damaging because guess what? There are some of you now that maybe you wanted to marry me and I say, after all, she has big belly. Meanwhile, you have not seen me. But I've used my mouth to project that I have big belly. And I don't have a big belly. Do you understand? I'm specifically using myself as an example so that you understand what I'm talking about. So I'm now making you guys attract the fact that there is big belly syndrome. Meanwhile, there's no big belly. Even me telling you I'm fat, I'm not even actually a fat person. I'm not even a fat person. And the person calling me fat is even with a fatter person. So don't let anybody make you feel less of yourself. That's what I'm talking about in this video. And it's on all levels. It's on all levels. Whether you're having that relationship with your spouse or with your... And somebody might say, so how do you solve it if you have somebody always calling you things in the negative? My darling, it's only one way. Delete them from your space like a bad habit. Period. Let them know if they're not ready to stop, delete them. You are responsible for what you have in your space. You are responsible for what you have, 100% of what you have in your space. There are some people like me, I personally don't like negative vibes. I don't accept it. Jokingly or seriously, I don't accept it. Even in my house, everybody who is close to me, shut up is even a big one. I might be talking to a friend. If I even say shit, oh shit, my children correct me immediately. Mommy, don't say shit. Sometimes it frustrates me, but that's the standard I created for them, so I have to live by it. Sometimes I'm overly angry. I'll just say, can you just shut up? My children will start crying when I tell them shut up. And I'm like, what nonsense are you people trying to do? In Africa, parents will just say, come on, shut up, get out. They do these things as if it's normal. So don't settle for less. That's my message to you. Don't settle for less. Don't accept negativity in your space. Okay, if you are sacrificing, understand on the basis that sacrifice is a willing thing that you do by yourself. When God called Abraham, bring your son. Abraham decided to bring his son. Abraham decided not to tell his wife. Abraham decided not to tell his son. He made that decision. Oh, my daughter is like ringing the bell. Hold on. He made that decision by himself, you know. Oh, did I go off? He made that decision by himself, not to tell those people. You understand where I'm coming from? Hold on, guys. My kiddos. Hi, guys. Hi. How was your dinner?
Hey, Hannah, your makeup is nice. Oh my God. Your eyebrows.
I mean, I'm on my live video. You guys keep disgracing me. Shami, but I'm trying now. This is not that bad now. Say hello. Mais c'est pas grave. No. You don't have to go back there. It's late. Go. How was your dinner? Hi, welcome. Bisous. My makeup is bad. You keep abusing me. Don't worry. I'll see the one you do when you are big. God help you. When you're a big girl, you don't do fine makeup. You'll see what I'll do to you. I'll be the one to personally laugh at you. Okay, guys. So, why is she crying? Come, Mama. Come and stay with me. Come and stay with me. Come, Mama. Come. Don't let them see your bum. Come. Don't cry. So, my video is already ending. My kids are back. I have to spend time with them. It's my movie night. Okay, so that's what I wanted to say. And I hope that those people who saw that, what they call it now, that live question will understand what my comment was all about. Don't settle for less. Don't allow people to give you negative names. Don't use negativity on your children. Don't say get out, shut up, all these things. Your head, this one. I see parents say, hey, what you did, you get it back. Don't do all of those things. They are not needed. They are not needed. They don't help someone advance. They affect our mental health. A lot of Africans don't know that they have mental health issues. Mental health issues is not when you are in the psychiatric. Mental health issues is even some people, they are so toxic to themselves that I'm giving you an example of what mental health issue is. Mental health issue is example when I keep saying I am having a big belly. It's a mental health issue because in my mind I've accepted it as, oh, I have a big belly is normal, but I don't. But I psych myself to believe that I have. I'll tell myself I'm fat, but I'm not fat. I psych myself to believe that because somebody said that to me. It's not because me myself I know. But because somebody said that to me, I accepted it as norm. I told myself, okay, let me just accept it. You cannot accept it. You cannot. And likewise, I'm tying it down to even our relationship with God. When you are going to God, you are taking your A game there. You are believing in God when he tells you something. You are not going to now be doubting him and say, hey God, if it's true that you will give me a baby, show me a sign. If he told you that you are not going to be barren in the land, man, take a chill pill. It will come. Don't because of people are saying, look at you, where is your God? My God is there. My God is there, is alive and is waiting, is going to do it for me. For those of you that are looking for a baby, today a celebrity, Charmaine, sit to play, please. A celebrity friend, Uche Obodo, she gave birth to a baby, and people were now saying, when will her friend give birth to the baby? Do they have to give birth at the same time? They don't have to give birth at the same time. So nobody should now make the other one feel like, oh, because she's married, then she has to give birth. No. Have restful confidence. If God tells you this is what he has told you, and you are sure God told you, it will happen. Not having restful confidence is you labeling God. That is what it is. That is what it is. Is you trying to make God settle when he has told you something and you don't believe it. When your spouse tells you this is it, most people say, my spouse. Look, let me tell you something. If you have a spouse and you don't have trust for that spouse, you already spoiled the foundation of your relationship. And just because you trust somebody does not mean that they might not falter. And that's what a lot of humans don't understand. You might trust somebody and for some reason that person falters. Yeah? What you want to check out is that person remorseful when he falters? And that person not repeating that action over and over again. That's the difference. So just say, I will not trust you. You did this. No. Even some women, they go overboard. Oh, my husband cheated on me. I'm not saying you should accept cheating, okay? But if your spouse cheated on you once, you should be able to forbear. If he's very remorseful about it, if he fears God, he'll be remorseful about it. If he doesn't fear God and he's just a Christian and a church goer, that's when he'll be telling you in Africa it's normal and they'll be bringing other. That's when you don't settle. It's on that basis that you don't settle. So I hope that this message meets you well. If you like it, like it. If you heard anything and you think is, pick the one that you know you will pick and run with it. That's the essence of these messages. A lot of times, okay, most of us that are doing videos on social media, most of us that are influencing people, we need to be conscious of the fact that a lot of people rely on the things we say. I can't count how many people that come to my inbox and say, Martina, that stuff you said, bless me. Remember the last post I did that the person I did the post for will cry? I literally talked to that person and the person was crying. So God does not lie. When I come on the platform and I tell you there's a message from God, there's really a message and it's for somebody. So I'm intentional about the videos I do. I'm intentional about the topics that I tell you guys, because the time I'm choosing the topic, yeah, I've already written topics that I will talk about for like maybe the next, maybe 2 months or 3 months. As a social media manager, I already do a lot of scheduling. But most times, I come up with some topics according to how the Spirit leads me, that is off of the topic that I want to talk about. Why? Because the Spirit is telling me at that time, somebody would need it. There is somebody that wants to settle. Don't leave that business. You're a working class. On pages, they'll say, my husband is saying I should leave my job in Abuja and come. Leave your job. He doesn't have anything he's giving you. Don't leave that job because your husband is different from sacrificing. If you want to leave the job because you want to relocate, it's a different case. That's sacrifice. But if somebody is making you do what you don't want to do, that's settling. And I'm saying don't do that, because in the end, it's not worth it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like and share. My daughter has abused my makeup. Guys, what do you people think? Do you ever think I can learn makeup? I'm good at so many things, but there are some things that I just don't know how to do. Makeup, washing of clothes, I don't know how to do those things. As in, I don't know if I signaled something to my brain. Makeup tutorial, like I've paid for makeup classes twice. They've showed me how to do eyebrow. I don't know why my hand cannot just draw a straight line. Guys, what is the solution? What do I do now for this, my makeup? I want to learn how to be doing makeup very, very well. Perfect. Because my children now, they're not the ones labeling me. I'm even going to warn them when we do our girls' night. They should stop telling me that I don't know how to make up. There are some people that don't make up and they're okay. Yeah. But me, seriously, I like it, but I don't know why I don't know how to make up. Washing clothes. I hate to wash clothes. Like, I hate it. To put them in the washing machine is like the prayer. Is like God needs to push me. Holy Spirit, they need to advise me and say, go and wash your children's clothes. And I can be there for like 2 hours putting the clothes. It's like please, doctors, tell me, is it a problem? You know, it's like my brain just tells me, you can't do this thing. So I'm just standing by the washing machine and the clothes are there. But just put them inside, you know, take the detergent, put it. It's a big job. Like, I can be there for 2 hours. But give me that same 2 hours and I'll clean the whole house, even if the house was a 7-story building. Give me that 2 hours, I'll wash the whole toilet, even if the toilet was as dirty as whatever. Those of you in my high school, you know, toilet is my work. I love to wash toilets. Yeah, I like it to be very clean. But washing clothes, I don't really know how to do it. But God will help me. We can't be perfect. We can't know how to do everything perfectly. If you enjoyed this video, like it, share it, leave your thoughts. Let me know. Are you settling for anything right now? All of the points that I gave, would you settle for less? If you had a spouse that told you, don't do this, don't say hello to your mom. There are some spouses that do that. You know, they'll say, why are you always calling your family every day? Don't call them every day. Call them once in a week. Meanwhile, you're that kind of person that likes to talk to your family every day. If you're that kind of person, tell me, how would you react to settling? What do you intend to do? How do you intend to show people who you are in the future? Because settling is a bad thing and we need to stop doing it. Accepting negativity is a bad thing. Using negativity on people is a bad thing. More so, using it on your children. And if you're a parent and you use your children to swear, my darling, nobody is worth it. No situation is worth it. If someone like me, I don't think anybody can blackmail me in this world. I keep telling people, if you like, have all my secrets in your palm. If you like, have all my naked pictures. If you like, catch me naked. You say you want to blackmail me, I'll be using my children to swear. Wait, please put it on the social media. When you're there, I'll be looking. Say anything there, I'll really. So this is after 1 day, 2 days, the thing is gone. Like that Tiwa Savage, she didn't have any business using her child because, like you say, you don't want that girl in your space. The girl is not even worth it. So using your child to even swear with the girl is not even worth it in the first place, because this is someone you can dump as a bad habit. So dump as many people as you can dump as a bad habit. Likewise, as much as you're dumping, understand that everything thrives on relationship. So the key word here is to be intentional with what you allow in your space, and then show people how you want them to treat you. That's the key word. If you don't take anything from what I've discussed, this is what you take from this conversation. And then I'm tying it to the God factor that, look, this whole thing, even though it's a physical thing, this is exactly what God wants for us with our relationship with Him. When He tells you trust, trust. When He says come, obey. When He says go, go. When He says give, give. You as a human being who is having that relationship with God, you must be intentional in that manner. You must not have an unexpected expectation where you are not bringing anything to the table. Some of you want God to bless you. What have you done for God? How many people have you told about God that you want him to kill himself for you when he has 7 billion people he's taking care of, plus the animals and every other thing? Maybe the animals, they have their own prayer requests. What do you bring to the table for you to merit what you are looking for just because he gives to you? So these are those entitlement feelings. Some of us as Christians, somebody say, okay, my friend was saying in her page that why she doesn't know why some people, bad things happen to them. It's because you don't obey the protocols. And the thing is, a lot of Christians don't understand that with these protocols and principles, they are not respecter of anybody. And the non-Christians, they know that. The non-Christians, they know that. If things are not working in your life, understand that there is something wrong. Understand it and be uncomfortable with it. Like me, all the things that I'm going through, I know that it's not normal. Me, myself, I don't need any pastor to pray for me. And I know it's two things. It's either something is wrong or God wants to use it to elevate me. Any which ways, in the end, it will work out for my good. That's what I told myself. And that's how you can carry on with life. If you don't have this kind of mentality, you will think that God has failed you. There are so many people that when they are going through troubles, they question God a lot. Okay, guys, bye-bye. My daughter is crying. Bye, guys. Take care and God bless you. Come, mama, come. Let's go and watch a movie. Bye, guys. Come, mama, come. Come, Dad.